Hi.
I'm Osham, and you're Supreme.
I know my name. So, how's your week been?
Chilled week, pretty chilled week. No stress. I did not allow myself to be stressed from work. Yay!
We don't do that here.
I did not allow myself to be stressed from work. I watched a couple interesting videos. I am reading a book with my book club members.
Nice.
And it's turning out to be interesting because we're having a lot of conversations. Interesting and engaging and mentally stimulating conversations. Right? So yeah, it's been a great week.
That's a good one. I'm happy for you.
How was your week?
My week was chilled as well. I didn't go out a lot. I went out a couple of times, but I did not a whole lot. And then finally I went there was a meeting I attended that something happened to me.
Okay.
So somebody was scrolling through social media. I don't know what social media he was scrolling through, but he was just random videos would play. So there was one he was playing and they were talking about a woman who was married to a man and then a rich man came and then told her, why are you living like this? And carried her into his own house. And then started maltreating her.
You remember quite a bit of the details?
Because it was so loud.
Okay.
It was so loud. So it got me thinking about how we sometimes don't realize how much or what we are contributing to spaces that we occupy. So I don't go out to public spaces a lot. So the few times I do, I am mostly present, just observing what is going on. And this particular one, I was stressed because why are you playing what you want to listen to, what is interesting to you in a public space while your phone is at 100% volume? That's unfair.
Yeah.
That's unfair. I understand that you want to enjoy it, but you're also giving off a vibe. You're also giving off a vibe. And for me, it was stressful. And you could tell, because when I looked around, you could tell that the other people were quite uncomfortable, but this person was an older person. So everybody just maintained some, would I call it decorum? Yes. And it's not the first time it's happening. But I thought maybe we should talk about the kind of things that you experience when you get in public space. What has annoyed you in recent times?
The one that I remember recently was getting on the bus to Lagos, and there were two parents actually. They had a child, male and female child, and both of them decided to play, I don't know if it was Peppa Pig or one of these children cartoons, and they were playing it for their children, and the volume was loud.
Are you not a child at heart? You would have enjoyed it with them.
No, because I also wanted to listen to my own thing. Like, why are you disturbing me? And you know that one is quite interesting because a part of you is like their children. But then again, you're like, you are not considering other people.
So sorry, where do we draw the line?
Like,
because somebody's elderly, you cannot say anything. It's a child.
It's a child.
You cannot say anything. So what do we do? We are in the middle. What do we do?
I don't know. Because I just feel like this is we're sounding out, and we are.
But it's not just about playing stuff loud from your phones in public. Because remember the one I experienced when we went to that it was a medical facility now. It was a hospital. So I was in the reception. She wasn't there. She stepped out for something. I was sitting in the reception, and these two guys come in, and these two different things happened in that reception actually. So the first one that happened was the guys come in and they're having this conversation about some 18 rated topic. Yes. And they're discussing out loud. One of them is describing in some detail how he was able to get a girl that lives on his street, which the girl is an acquaintance to both of them. And God help me. I can remember it. So I had to block my ears with my AirPods because I said, why am I having to hear this It's a public space. Have some respect. Have some regard for the people around.
Around you. Yeah.
You know, and that was one that happened. But then there was, so it's not all bad, really, because I mean, in that same reception, there was this fresh grandpa that came in, and he made his inquiries. He couldn't wait, so they exchanged contacts. I had an appointment, so he had to go do some business and come back. But just as he was stepping out, he said, "Can I leave some feedback?" And the receptionist said, "Sure." And he left some feedback, really. He just noted a couple of things that could be better in the reception, commended them, and he stepped out. I held on to that. You know, I said that's something that I would like to practice when I go into maybe a facility, even if it's a medical facility, a hotel, or whatever. But it was something commendable. I loved it. So it's not all bad, really. But for me, I feel like if as human beings we are more thoughtful when we come into a place and we recognize the responsibility that each person there plays in setting the tone and setting the vibe of that place, I think that we will do better. We would be more aware of maybe the kind of conversations we are having, the kind of things we are playing. I'm not saying you should not play. Listen to your music, but use an earpiece or something.
Use headphones.
Headphones.
Do you know that there are some people who still use headphones, and then it's so loud that it's almost leaking. Pointless. It's like you should have just like why?
No, but if they use earphones and it's leaking out, at least if you put on your AirPods, you wouldn't hear. Yes, you wouldn't hear. But why are you forcing me to put on AirPods when I don't want to? Sometimes I don't want to. So you're infringing on my rights.
Yes.
And it's unfair. Okay. I hope I'm not the only one that this thing annoys.
No.
It's not.
You're not the only one.
Okay, so I'm not weird because those are part of the things. That was part of what I got out of my week. Yeah.
Are there other things you remember that annoy you?
In public?
In public. I think it will be littering for me, especially when the waste bin, we're on the train.
Oh God.
There's a designated area for trashing stuff, but you still say no, that the floor beside you is the best place to trash your waste. I find that very...
Not all human beings are created equal.
That's not godly. That's not righteous.
That's not humanly.
That's not humanly.
That's not humanly. So let me. When I was working in a certain state where you had a lot of, near my office, there's a lot of vegetation. So you have some farmlands around, and there was this day a herd of cows were moving, and they saw the car coming. They gave way to the car. And I thought to myself, these cows have more courtesy than some human beings. Yes, because with what I've experienced, all right, when you meet people or you're driving on the way or you're walking, some people would almost walk right into you. And so sometimes what I do is if I'm walking, I say, okay, I have as much right to be here as much as you. So if you say you're not going to shove your shoulder a bit, you're not going to tilt it a bit, I won't tilt mine. And to an extent, I have broad shoulders. Yeah. So when I move, it's not a battle of the shoulders. Yes. And so a couple of times I bumped into something knowingly. I knew I went for it. Because somebody is walking on the way. Not somebody, like a group of 2-3 friends are walking on the way. The sidewalk is only so wide. Why exactly are you guys spread out as if you are some K-pop band or something on stage? They spread out side by side as if they want to dance a choreography on the side of the road. Like, I'm a human being too. I'm walking. Please, can you excuse me? But they don't do that. And so, if I'm coming from behind, I say excuse me in the most firm tone I can muster at that point. If I'm coming and you can see me coming, I am not a tiny human being. I'm very fair. Like, people call me up NEPA sometimes. I'm fair. You can see me from far away. I'm sure satellites from space can see me, right? And so it means that you can see me in front of you. So I'm walking straight on. If you do not move, I'm going to run into you. And I'm sure I'm not the one that will take any damages here. You know, so it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, and of course, the littering that you mentioned.
That one is so... yeah.
No words.
What are we on about? We're on a mission to civilize.
Yes, we're on a mission to civilize.
With this video, right?
Yes. On a mission to civilize.
Learn to be considerate. You know, some people, I mean, you were the one that even noted it. You pointed it out to me when we just started dating at the time. You were saying you have to be aware of your environment. And I did not used to be aware. I don't know if I'm so great at being aware right now.
No, now you drive, so...
Yeah.
Yes,
so to an extent, there's a sense of awareness, spatial awareness, atmosphere awareness. Some people are clueless. So they're just like, ha ha ha, mindless scrolling, and they don't even care about the next. And you see it when you are driving.
Oh. I don't want to go into road rage.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
See, if you want to really test your true born again status, driving in Nigeria can be quite an extreme sport.
3 places: drive in Lagos, drive in Ibadan, drive in Benin.
Ah, whoa. Okay.
Drive in Lagos, drive in Ibadan, drive in Benin. Those God. 3 places.
We'll test.
If you can survive
as a believer,
1 hour, 30 minutes
without blaring your horns.
No, it's not blaring your horns. The horn is a feature of the car.
Sometimes.
But without getting aggravated.
Yes.
You know, almost like you want to tell somebody some words that would make Jesus open his mouth in disbelief.
Yeah. That kind of thing. But yeah, it's just raising your awareness. I mean, be considerate, be thoughtful, be kind to people. Being kind is not just saying, oh, I want to give you
a cup of garri.
I want to give you a cup of garri. Being kind is also saying, okay, I will not listen to TikTok videos at 100% volume.
In a public place.
In a public place, because I care about people. Do you know that there's one that even recently happened? There was this woman in the bus. I was in the bus. I was coming back to Ibadan, and she was creating content, and I was like, if I don't tilt my head sideways, my face is probably going to show in that video. I think it's very annoying. Like, why do I have to be in your video? Like, why? I'm just on my own. I don't even know where you are going to post, where that is going to go. If
so, and that thing is a very thin line.
Like, okay. I don't know. It's just very... I find
so people would say that because she was filming in a public place, that she has the right to film.
With my face in it.
They'll ask you, why are you in a public place? However, there's also that thing of requiring a press release when you're filming somebody else and you're going to use it on a public platform. So most times people have to sign a press release saying, okay, I am okay with you using my picture or my video. I remember a time I worked with a guy who had to get people to sign press release forms. So there's all that.
Some people don't even have any clue that you need to like...
Oh, no, many people don't.
Have permission from people before their faces appear in your video, right? I don't know. Yeah, that I found it so annoying.
That's
so annoying.
I think the next one is body odor.
Jesus. Last but not the least.
Body odor, mouth odor. See, smelling nice.
It's community service. Like, what somebody will say. It's community service.
So some people don't realize that when they step into a place, their odor changes the atmosphere.
Really?
They don't have to fart for the atmosphere to change.
Of course. People should try not to fart in public, like in an elevator. Don't fart in an elevator. If there are like 12 people in an elevator, please don't fart. Hold it in. until you get to an aerated space, you know. That's a big but God.
You see, I have gone into spaces where a person just walked in. So maybe I was just sitting there and this person just walked in and you just realized that there was a presence.
Yep.
There's a presence in this room. Somebody just came in.
Somebody just came in.
But the one person that came in felt like an entourage that came in. It's fascinating to me. I'm like, why? Don't do that. It's not godly. No, that one is not a godly thing to do. So I understand that not everybody can use perfume. Some people are allergic to perfume.
Yes.
There are some body sprays that I had to stop using because once I sprayed it, I noticed that I would start sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. So I stopped using it. Even though I liked it to an extent, but I stopped using it. So probably people have that.
That thing.
But you cannot be allergic to everything. Shave your armpits.
Wash your arm.
Wash. There were people I knew when I was young.
Brush your teeth.
It was a family body odor. Oh yeah. There were people I knew when I was quite younger. They had a family body odor. I hope they are not like that right now. I hope for their sake and for people that they met and they are dating or probably married. I don't know what they are doing in life right now, but it was a family thing.
Yeah.
Like this sibling had, this other sibling had, so it was.
So once you perceive that
You
smell,
know
you know that this is from this
somebody
family.
from this family is around.
Oh my God.
It was an identifier.
That's
Yes.
wild. Ha ha ha.
And I hear that people who have body odor and mouth odor don't know that. They say they don't know. So I also read something that halitosis, the mouth odor thing, can be caused by stress.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yes, it can be caused by stress. Yeah. But I don't think that you can have mouth odor and body odor as somebody who is loved at home and you have people that love you. I don't think that it would persist for that long without, community service coming together to find solution for you.
Yeah.
I think to a very large extent, if you have people that love you, they would rally around to help you out. If it's buying mint, if it's changing your soap,
Your toothpaste.
Some people want to use a certain kind of toothpaste, but that toothpaste is just a brand. It's not doing anything in your mouth. Change it.
Visit the dentist.
Visit the dentist. So
Go to the hospital.
So I'm trying very hard. Yeah, I will get to that part of going to the hospital, seeing the dentist for those who have the means. But for those who do not have the means, like just shave and use your sponge. Use the sponge to wash. Don't just enter the bathroom, use soap, and you're out of the bathroom. Just pour water on your body and you're out of the house. It's not fair. Don't do that. And where it's bad is that people who have these bad habits for themselves are going to perpetuate this in their children because they will not bathe the children well. And a child is going to grow up having body odor.
So I remember there was this one time there's something we usually do. I grew up in Redeem and we used to go for this Easter camp thing. So we'd go, all the girls would stay in a hostel. And I remember having my bath one morning. I was a teenager. And then a friend of mine looked at me and she said, "You don't know how to bathe." Like she told me, "You don't." I think that should be like my first experience with feedback coming from like outside my house. She said, "You don't know how to bathe. That's not how to wash your back. That's not how to scrub your body." And then she proceeds to show me how. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that there was a correct way to have your bath.
Whoever you are, that lady, thank you. Thank you for doing a good work.
I didn't know that there was a correct... it hurt at the time. It was painful. But I remember saying, oh, okay, if there's a better way, let me do it in a better way, right? There are actually there's a way
There's a proper way
There's a proper way to have
to wash. There's a proper way to brush your teeth. Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I learned that last year, that I've been brushing my teeth wrong all my life.
Yeah. She went to the dentist and they educated my wife on how to brush.
It was a whole education, like a 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes conversation where the doctor was just walking us through the process. Don't do like this. There's a way.
Yeah.
You brush your teeth. And you can pay me. I will share it with you. Or you can go to the teaching hospital here in Ibadan and they will show you how to brush your teeth properly. Please, properly. Because it made a lot of difference. My dental health.
Yeah. So yes, I mean, it was, I think, body odor.
That's like, and there was one you mentioned the other time where parents will buy one ticket, knowing that they have 3 children.
Oh yes.
And then they are counting on you. They are planning you in their plan that you have no idea that you are on. Because you're like, I just want to have a comfortable ride.
So I was going on this.
So I'm going to. Was it on a train?
No.
Was it in a bus?
It was supposed to be a 4-hour trip, but that trip ended up lasting, I think, 6 hours or more.
Oh my God.
Yes. We encountered traffic. The bus driver. I'm not going to go into that detail. But this lady comes in with 3 children. Actually.
Wow.
3 children. Was it 2 or 3 children? So my memory is a bit faint. It was a while ago. So 2-3 children. She comes in, but she pays for only 1 seat. And this space was going to be behind the driver in a hired bus. So she sits down and she wants one of the children to sit beside me, and then the other one would sit behind the driver. So my legs are not going to have space to spread a bit. Instinctively, I spread my legs. Before they sat down, I just spread my legs. So she spoke to the driver or something, or the conductor. They were trying to guilt trip me and tell me that, okay, I beg, you go sit down well. I said, what do you mean?
They don't have to tell that type
I
of
said,
thing to
because the woman, she wants to sit down there. I said, excuse me. There are 3 people that are supposed to be on this seat. How am I supposed to create space for another human being? He said, "Na pikin now, or you go back." I said, no, I'm not going to the back because of my legs.
Oh yeah.
This is where, yes. I said, I'm going to sit here, and this is how I'm going to sit. And I remember that for the rest of that trip, I was getting these vibes. People were looking at me like,
you weird.
But I don't care.
If it's someone like me, I probably would have cowered. I'm being like, I don't want to look like I'm a bad person. But in my mind, I'm like, what the hell?
So you will suffer for it.
What the hell?
Now, at the time,
I don't know right now if I would do that, like me right now. But
you will suffer for it because at the time, before the trip began, we didn't know the turbulence that we're going to go through.
Oh my God.
We didn't know just how long it was going to last. In fact, I missed the event I was going for. Do you understand? So I wasn't going to, even though it was going to be for 10 minutes, an hour, I was not going to take the chances. You knew that you were going somewhere. The trip was going to take 4 hours. You knew that you did not have enough money to pay for the children. You knew. So why did you take them along? Why?
I think it's just that, I think it's still that consideration thing. Where, I mean...
You're not considering the other person. You're just thinking all about yourself.
Because I'm coming from my house. I did not plan that I was going to have to squeeze myself so that 2 children will sit on the seats. But I didn't have such a plan. But you
and they were stepping on my leg.
You planned me in your plan that I had no idea that I was on. Right? So I'm like, no.
Without my permission.
Without my permission.
So, I mean, people can be annoying.
I hear people say, that they don't carry people's children, public transport, and people look at them weird and they're like, it's fine.
No, people have had adverse. They've had some
weird
experiences. Yes.
So I'm like, again, on a mission to civilize. So
please don't do these things.
Don't do this.
If you used to do these things before, change for the better.
Change.
If you used to do these things, I don't know how many things we've talked about, but if you do these things, change. If you used to do them, or if you were thinking of doing them, please change. If you are partaking in any of these evils in society,
Evil is a strong word.
it's evil. Change for the better. Be a better person. Supreme said so. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For hanging out with us today. We're grateful.
We'll see you in the next one.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.